It's your world's famous host, Boomerang Games of Ypsilanti Newz in the world today.
This Rell, real news of Rell.
Hey, and we were Hood Politics Edition. We got two very, very special guests in the building. We got my man Damon Campbell, and we got Soto. How you doing, my brothers? We about to get straight into it. Damon, what is it that you do, man? You so important. I had a very good opportunity to meet you. Checked out his Instagram. I'm like, wow, this dude with everybody. What the hell is it that he do?
What I currently do is brand marketing development, which in a nutshell is PR, brand relations. Behind any artist you see...
Slow down, this Hood Politics.
Okay.
Brand relations, a lot of people don't know what that means. You got to slow it down. And
Layman's terms.
Yeah.
Layman's terms.
Basically, all right, so you would have an artist like Little Pump.
Okay.
And what the machine behind an artist like Little Pump is, it basically does a measurement of what you think is cool.
Okay.
Whatever you think is cool, they're going to push it even more to you. It's kind of like that word that they use for Instagram algorithm. It's
like target market.
Right.
Like, okay.
And so it's people like me that are behind, and I noticed this by like working with a lot of the A-list celebrities. They have a me in their corner.
Okay.
And I wasn't a me myself until I studied those people that I saw in the circles that I was now exposed to when I was working with, Forrest Whitaker and his wife Keisha Whitaker. I became exposed to it.
By the first name, you tied in, bro.
Yeah, Keisha's definitely like
Keisha Whitaker. Yeah, that's my home girl.
Keisha, shout out to Keisha Whitaker.
So you said target market. That's huge. Like, Rell, that remind me kind of, he cooks. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever specifically got a target market?
That's
like, this is what they demanding.
No, this is what Food War is about. You get what the people like.
Okay.
I do my own PR. That's why I do my lives. Okay. It's to bring the market, the people to me. So when you other people flaws, that's what you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So if this person cooking, they making a mistake, and I cook. If I put their flaw out there, guess what they want to know? Like, why he do that?
Right.
And then, like a ugly. You trying to sell an ugly dog, and I got the same kind of dog you got, but my dog look better than yours. Same breed and everything. That's an ugly dog. So what woman want an ugly dog?
So my question to you is that type of mentality involved in
everything I do.
Okay. So what? Okay. Say no more. Okay.
So everybody see now I ain't wrong.
Right.
See? Like I keep telling people, they phone, an iPhone, and all these expensive phones we get have computers. So you can talk to them. They talk back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I talk to my phone. I be like, what can I do to destroy somebody?
You better say it. So. Okay, so target market, what has been the biggest celebrity that you've worked with? Not on the check, because you might get a check that's bigger from somebody else, but far as that really...
Biggest, most, like I mentioned before, working with Keisha and Forrest Whitaker, that gave me really great life experiences. I always had a core of me that was humble, but it really grounded me is a better word. It grounded me to let me know I have a lot to learn at that time. And this was back in 2008, so I've been in this game for a healthy period of time.
Okay.
And where are you from?
Born in Los Angeles, and came here, child divorce, shout out divorce kids. My parents divorced.
Hood politics, baby.
And then moved here.
He's
to
still
Detroit.
successful though.
And then went to Hampton University, and shortly after that moved to New York right after graduation.
Okay, dope. What made you, far as a kid, what made you, was this something that you dreamed of, or something once you got into college, you switched your major?
No, I dated this girl, and she modeled, and
Pussy to do it.
yeah, I dated this girl. She modeled. She got me my hands-on real industry experience, because she wasn't one of these like models that just like are in a room and you take photos for some local calendar. Like she had a nationwide campaign, and she was flying back and forth to New York, and so I started seeing her real movements in that respect. Like I'd always seen, I wanted to be a corporate attorney. That was my real growing up passion. Going to law. But it was really more than money. It was just really something I was good at. Like I've always known I'm good at litigating. I've always been good at even building people, and thus what I do now.
But you realize that as a black person, that's what we born to be.
Right.
That's what people fail to understand in life. As a black person, we come from leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like to get a title, kings and queens. That let us know our foundation is to lead.
Right.
And to be a leader, you got to be a great follower, like you just said. A woman told you, and that's when you start taking it serious.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Go back to what you was saying.
See,
before.
it's all about the household.
Right.
It's all
Foundation.
about a woman. Foundation is your woman.
Right.
So, like he just said, he was in college, he did this, and a woman opened him up and he grounded. He's grounded. He didn't say, I know everything.
Right.
He learned. He was still a sponge. In life now, people ain't trying to be a sponge. They're trying to say, you can't tell me nothing, I got this.
Right.
You can't tell me nothing, I got this. So, I like right now, like I want to ask you a question. How would you market me and Karana? How would you market us? Like right now, we got voices in our community. This is a little city, Ypsi. We got voices. I'm talking about when I say we got voices, we got big voices.
Big
People
voices.
listen.
Right.
People listen. Like I did a basketball thing, and everybody talked about how it's gonna fail, but it didn't fail. You know what I'm saying?
Backpacks in the community.
So when we did that, so we trying to do it again, but we trying to reach a bigger scale. Cause my bro, a motivational speaker. I'm one too, but I don't get into all that. So I do that. I let him go. Cause me, I'm that cussing type. Right. But I'm wondering, like marketing him, like the levels and the steps and all that. How would you market like
was
people
that
like
really
us?
Now, I put a word to it called marketing and branding and these words to it. I think to really act and do it in that type of way, like I've had clients before ask me like, so what's our, I'm not sure if you asked me that one time, but what's our schedule of our goal? What's our goal for this month? Mm-hmm. I really don't like questions like that per se because this industry is so fast that a goal you think I don't even see a goal taking a month. That's how I guess faith in what I do is and faith in my clients that I might talk about Breakfast Club in 1 year for a client, but I would hate to say within a year because that a relevant situation may take place we can capitalize on and position him to be Breakfast Club worthy within a month time.
Right.
You know, anything could happen in this business that I happen to work in, so it's a day-to-day grind. It's more than that. It's something you have to really, if you're in my position as a PR brand management for somebody like yourself, and next year you're on the #1 show on NBC, your needs and such are going to be totally different that go on in the background level that you don't even need to even know about. You have to memorize scripts and you have to do such, go on these interviews, press tours. You have to worry about just that and being you for those things. It's up to me to worry about this, and your manager worries about something else. Your business manager's handling the financial aspect. So everybody has to be a great cog. And that's another thing with my services that I offer is that I add to organizing my client's cogs so that his circle, his inner working, don't fuck up his brand.
Right, I got you. That's dope. So we definitely gonna be we gonna talk on that. So dealing with all of these, we're gonna fast forward. Dealing with all these major people you dealing with and things of that nature. What is it about this brother that got you represent him? Because you represent people like Forrest Whitaker. To the hood, that's Illuminati. That's the top of the food. You see what I'm saying? To us.
You know what I just thought about right now, just now? They're going to break down this video in about 5 years and be like, look at the way he laughed and the symbol of the...
right. And then, you know, I'm already... Right. So what is it so special to this brother right here? What's Soto?
Wurl Soto.
Wurl Soto.
Wurl.
Dope. Okay. What is it
everywhere
at this point in your career? You represent so many people, doing so many great things, to where you said something about this brother.
It goes with this. Like, anybody ever play sports in here?
We all did that.
Okay. You ever met somebody you can just tell that they played the same sport you could? You couldn't really explain it in words, but you just knew, like kind, know each other. So it was kind of like that. It was more of a kindred spirit type of thing where it's like, not even as corny as that. It really is. I've been around enough entertainers to know what it feels like to be around a similar thing. I've been around enough people that just are about to blow.
You told me something the night I met you. I had to cut you off. You told me something real. This the day my sister who's behind me everybody spent me for this show. Remember, I was there by myself, just me and my cameraman. And I performed, I get off the stage, Rell. I said, man, I was just kind of down because I'm so used to the crowd knowing my song a little bit. And he said, man, y'all artists worry about all the wrong things. I remember that. You know what I mean? What is it that a thing that an artist worry about that's so not important. What has he experienced that at any point?
I would say, not speaking about him, but I would say most artists worry about letting other people down. That they value other people's things,
Opinions.
that too, and just they think about too many external things that really, end of the day, you can just emotionally detach from all that. Keep doing you and winning, and you'll be better placed in a position to do great for others.
That's real. That's real. Wurl Soto. So you got this great PR behind you. You're doing great things. He tied in. You got to be somebody. I want to know who the hell you are. The world want to know who you are. Ypsilanti want to know who you are.
Well,
what is it that you do? Do you sing? Do you rap?
I guess the best way to explain what I am is like my artist name. Because my artist name, it took a lot of thought, it took a lot of experience, a mix of political, it's a mix of spiritual, and it's a mix of just experience. And Wurl is just an acronym. It's an acronym for wrong URL. And I feel like we live in a very systematic and technological based society that comes down to just searching people up on a URL.
That's real.
Type in the Google search.
That's
everybody
real.
has a stereotype. Everybody going to what's popular demand.
Right.
And I'm a wrong URL for all that shit.
We talk.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not what people expect. I'm not what people want. I am who I am.
Me and this
Now,
brother.
let me finish up real quick.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Okay, I like you. Okay, talk to me.
So Soto.
Okay.
So Soto is a mix of Latin and Japanese meaning.
Okay.
And Latin means to be the other undertone of music. It's very subtle. And if you're not aware of music and how it's composed, you're not going to hear it because you don't have the ear for it. And I feel like the same thing comes with my message. If you're not conscious, you're not going to peep my message. You're not going to know what I'm about. So then Soto in Japanese means to be an outsider and someone who wants to immerse in a culture, who wants to give to this culture, who wants to add to a culture, but will never be seen the same in that culture. And I felt like that whether I was in, a diverse community or I was around other brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I had to prove myself always, every day. I had to be better than the white kids. I had to be better in sports because that's the only way it would prove that I'm actually black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People look at my hair and they say I'm not black. You feel me? But I know for a fact that I'm black. I deal with it every day. I get called nigga all the time. People don't know what I am, and that's probably what pisses people off more.
Right. They can't
Well,
put,
I got a
they
question.
can't put a category.
Wait a minute. I got a question because in the Constitution, if you read the Constitution, one drop of black blood make you black.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So people know what you are. It's more like you want them to see what you are. You don't, like you just said, you want to what your name stands for. You said it means to be different instead of your own tone. Yeah. So you got to understand, is you your own music box, you want people to hear you. Yeah. You can't take up people's opinions about how you feel about it. Right. So if you're going to value your name and really struggle with it and accept your name, what you're saying, you can't sit back and try to say, we don't know who you are. We do. It's the other people that don't know who you are because you ain't accepting who you are and you got to be who you is.
But that's
what I'm saying because you said you been called niggas. Listen. A nigga to me, like my grandmother always told me, is a nigga's a low-down, dirty person that it can be any race, anybody. So in order to be called a nigga, we embrace that now. Because that made them look stupid. Because when you embrace something, when people call you a nigga, that give you the strength to keep moving forward. Right. So if you worried about what they was calling you when you was in school and the white kids, that failure made you stronger to perceive to be strong. And keep moving forward.
I mean, if I never experienced that, because that's what I'm saying. I went to school.
My question was pertaining to school.
Yeah.
During school, when you feeling these emotions of people calling you nigga, and you going through all these things. So when you're young, it's like the world is really.
I guess it was deeper than
the music.
You gotta understand how
the music push you through all of that.
Oh, of course. I started off doing poetry. You know what I'm saying? I started off doing poetry. I started spoken word. I was writing in school. I wrote a whole book on water and the nurtures of water. And I even compared it to the nurturing of my mother. You know what I'm saying? That's where I really started to gain spirituality and I started to have a real respect for women, especially more importantly black women and how we are treating them in this culture. Because a lot of it, how we deal with spirituality and then the understanding of other things and how we exist and how creation happens is the same correlation to how we treat women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's on all, it's not even about race. We do it in our own culture, in our own homes. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I have a 4-year-old daughter and I don't want,
I got 3.
I don't want the same perspective that people in the world have on black women to be the same thing she grows up in. Right. I want her to have the more opportunity than I will ever have. I want her to be queen. I want her to be a goddess. You know what I'm saying? I want her to see herself as that. Right. I don't want no one else to have to tell her that.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of community and pushing forward, is there anything that you do to give back outside of music? Yeah. Because sometimes in music, if you ain't really popping and went viral, the right. message ain't really getting heard in this day and age.
Right, exactly.
So for me, I stepped outside of music and I done other things because it's like, well, they didn't hear that song Believe. It only had a few hundred views. They didn't really hear it. Right. Although it's a great song, but I went and gave this speech here and there. There's things you do in the community that...
recently, last year, I had the opportunity to go to the Points of Life conference at Campbell Hall. And I had to, it was originally intended for Muhammad Ali to be there. Other political leaders in the world were supposed to be there. It was over thousands of people there. And I never understood why I got the opportunity, but what I realized is that the opportunity was handed me for what I've done in the community. I worked with a nonprofit in Southwest. I worked with nonprofits all over Detroit. And I worked with a community hub called Public Allies that was for developing young leaders in Detroit.
Have you heard of Davis in Detroit? Detroit Ain't Violent and Safe?
Yeah.
You heard that? Okay,
yeah.
I worked with them brothers hand in hand, and they did my very first podcast when we were in my kitchen.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's dope, you know what I mean?
So while I was working with these nonprofits, it showed me a lot of what was going on in Detroit. There was a lot of trickle-down engagement. Nonprofits that were
trickle down as in we this hood politics, baby. You gotta
trickle down as in like they doing the trickle down engagement means they just doing the bare minimum to keep getting funding. Right.
You being an artist, have you ever, because my city is kind of demanding me to run for office. Okay. And I'm at a deadline, April 24th. I have to have a certain amount of signatures, things of that nature. So at any moment, any day, I can say, you know what, I'm really gonna officially run. Right. You being an artist, outside of music, have you thought about taking an actual seat in your community and saying, because I look at politics, you can really make a change. It's crazy to me, a rapper, a basketball player, football player, they get paid so much money, but they can't change the law.
Right.
But hold on, wait a minute.
Talk to me.
Wait a minute. So you gotta look at it
I think it's multitudes of things you must have. I think it's one actual mission. Like that mission is engraved in you, and you have to. Nothing's gonna stop you from achieving that. You have that mission. Right. You have the capital, and then you have the policy. Then you have, because at the end of the day, you could be trying to push any policy, but as long as somebody's pockets are fat in you, they're gonna make sure it doesn't happen. Right. At the end of the day, because that's how this country was built, to have capital. So I realized if I really want to make change in my city, I'm going to have a balance of both. I'm going to have understanding what the community needs, what's going on in my community.
Yeah, finances.
But then I'm also going to have them finances. Because I want to start a nonprofit in Detroit that is really just a studio. It's really just a dance studio, recording studio, art studio, has graphic design, photography, settings for whoever needs it. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's for the youth. And are they going to have to pay to get into it? No. What are they going to have to do? They're going to have to put community events together. They're going to have to give back to the community, show why they deserve to be leaders, and they need to be getting these resources. Because that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. If you want someone to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself, and you have to invest in the community around you.
Did you?
Because somebody sees
I want to hear what
somebody seeing you.
What Rell had to say. What was it you was about to chime in on? It seemed like you waiting to.
Yeah,
talk to
I look at it like this. Everybody look at politics ain't the only way that you can change things. People make changes. That's what people don't understand. You ain't got to be in politics to change. See, what you got to do, you got to be that person that people willing to follow. And
but I said change the law.
No, but you got to understand.
You can't change the law from no other seat but that political seat, though.
You can change laws because listen, if you get a political person in you and your community, and you more powerful than certain things that go on, guess what they got to come through? They got to come through you. That's why certain people, and now you look at it like this. In Chicago, let's break it down. Hoover, whatever his name is, the head of the folks, whatever, they won't even let him out of prison. But they go there to make him stop wars that's going on with the gang violence.
I mean, he did now.
But I'm just saying they went to him and talking about, well, this and that, man, they doing this in Chicago. Can you just tell your people to stop?
See, but to me, that's different. That's still hood.
But you gotta understand. So
in order to change any policy or law, you still have to be in a seat.
But power,
we can have as much money as the rapper. But you gotta understand,
it's power. You
it's
gotta
power.
It's what people follow.
But think about this, Rell. If it was power, we would be in a better seat. Because we got the rappers with the money.
But you gotta look at it like this. You can have money, you can have all this type of stuff. But is they willing to follow you, bro?
That's true.
Is they willing to follow you? If they willing to follow you, they gonna go to war for you. You get what I'm saying? Wait a minute. We living in a lifestyle of war, bro. We pay more money in war overseas than we put in our communities.
Right.
We put billions and billions of dollars overseas fighting war that don't got nothing to do with us.
So, Soto, I hear you.
That's the key.
What you feel about what the brother just said on our funding and the government and where the aim is more strategically? And as an artist, why don't us as artists contrary make music opposite of what we tend to do all the time? Like every artist, you gotta kind of downgrade your community and your culture to really come up. We got Kendrick Lamar, because people argue that. Well, we got Kendrick,
but
we got
he
J.
made it
Cole.
sometime too.
Right.
But that's what people don't get. They say, I got a question. Is you a conscious rapper or you just real? See, when people sit back, they want to put a label on you. If they put you in a category, guess what you gonna be in that category?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you in that category, you want to go outside that box. Say that ain't me. I can do this. They be like, no, this what you do.
I guess what it comes back to is when you were asking me who I am as an artist.
What category would you think you fit in?
I'm not. I'm everything. That's what Wurl Soto is. Everybody is different. Everybody is their higher self. And I'm just channeling something I can't even explain. There ain't no words for me to explain why the music I make is the way it is. It's just what I'm supposed to do.
Where can people find this damn music at? Where?
Everything.
Where's the social medias, the SoundCloud?
Wurl Soto, Wurl Soto. Google me.
And that's
Wurl Soto. I was featured in the Metro Times for my activism, for my artistry, for what I'm doing. And I want to share a poem with you that I was talking about earlier that I did at Campbell Hall. Like I said, it was supposed to be for Muhammad Ali, but I was fortunate to perform it for his wife, Lani Ali. I was able to speak to her afterwards, and I was able to speak to people who were in the audience who I was talking to.
That's huge.
Politicians.
That's huge.
CEOs. You know what I'm saying? I shake the hand of President Jordan. I really wanted to cuss him out. I'm gonna be honest.
So I'm
like, you heard what I'm saying, but you didn't hear me.
So
hopefully
they hear us, but they don't listen.
No, but I want them to feel me. I want them to hear me, but feel me on a whole different level.
I got a question.
Because that's what music's supposed to do. That's what poetry's supposed to do. That's what art is supposed to do.
Right.
It's supposed to strike something.
I got a question for you, though. I got a question for you.
Right.
So you feel you want a powerful voice, right? In the communities all over the world. That's what your name stands for, right?
Right.
So I put it like this. Do you go to any schools and give that speech? Do you go anywhere and give our youth with your knowledge, what you're saying right now? Do you go to any schools and give back? Do you go and give any speeches to certain...
Well, on that, I got to interject on that aspect. Within me just working, that is part of an ongoing plan of action. It's just, as you probably know, paperwork involved with that, because they're not just letting anybody just come up off the street and just start speaking. You do, at the same time, even they do play that weird Instagram game. Where I had a school...
I said that, only reason I said that, because he's